Hey there, Pisces. It's Jen here. I'm doing your mid-November reading. So I got an interesting message for you when I was meditating for you guys. And one of the main messages was so first it came up as keeping track of things. So not just saying, oh yeah, I eat healthy, I eat well. Yeah, there's the tower. Okay, I'm not surprised. But actually getting an app to really get actual real data and um, not just assuming and telling yourself, oh yeah, I don't eat a lot of sugar. I've done this. And you start tracking, you start really reading labels, and it's like, oh my God, there's freaking sugar in everything, or there's salt in everything, or whatever. So really getting not letting your imagination or your brain sort of tell you things, but really getting solid data. So getting an app to track your food and exercise, being very grounded. Also got writing, keeping a journal. Again, that's really keeping track or getting your thoughts down on paper. So sometimes getting them from your head to the paper, and then when you can read them again, you can be like, oh, that's a little, because I get that you may be catastrophizing. I had to actually look that up because I knew the word, but it's spelled completely differently than I thought. So you may have thought issues, thoughts spiraling out of control, really fixated on something. You might get hung up in like a conspiracy theory, even. Um, Something has you sort of off kilter. And so it doesn't have to be everything, but in some area, maybe you've gotten particularly fixated on something, and which is a really bizarre message in some ways that I'm getting. But I think what will be very comforting, calming, and grounding is to really get the some solid facts, um, and data and track things so you can um, have the facts to back up. And if the facts aren't there to back up, some mindfulness, some breathing, some, hey, here we go, this happens to me, here we go, my brain's spiraling on something and this isn't helpful, and have something positive to uh, think about or to distract you or whatever. So I'm not sure what's going on astrologically with Pisces, if there's some particularly uh, hits with you or your planet and things like that. You may want to check into that. Find your favorite astrologer on YouTube or online and see what's going on with you, especially in the end of November. That could help get things into perspective. So you do have the Tower card that came out, and I think that you and it's stupid to say you're don't stress or don't worry, because I mean, okay, thanks. That's helpful. But you may be over worrying. You may be running with a worry and bringing it to a very catastrophic conclusion that's really worst case scenario, fear based, and very unlikely extremely unlikely to happen. If you're going to do that, you have to run with a very positive way as well. So balancing that out with, if the worst could happen, well, the best could happen too, and then trying to bring it into the middle. So this Wheel of Fortune here, the spiritual meaning of this card, yes, this can be a change in fortune. The world's always churning and burning around us, and it can make us feel very out of control. And if we try to ride the wheel, we can be up on top, which can be great, but we can also be falling off or crushed down at the bottom. So if we can learn to stay centered here, grounded, see, there's even a pentacle in the middle, which is an earth sign. It's a grounding. We can stay grounded. We can ride out the highs and lows without glorifying something or um, really going to the worst case scenario. So doing whatever grounding exercises work for you. And you may want to experiment walking in nature, potting some plants, um, getting your feet in the earth, meditating, exercise, you name it. There's a million things. Working with natural materials, all sorts of things that you can do. So you have to experiment with what works best for you. I didn't even look at your cards. Three of Pentacles. So it could be something with work. Um, Teamwork. There could be a little paranoia around the workplace. Um, what's that saying? Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean someone's not after you. It doesn't mean this isn't based in reality in some way, but the spiraling out of control is not helpful. I do see the truth coming out, and that if you can be strong and say, okay, I'm not going to allow myself to become completely unhinged and freak out over this. Yeah, it'll get better. You can ride the storm. I think the truth will come out. There's a positive new beginning based on facts. Here we go. Here's the data here. The left brain, the keeping track of things so documentation. Make sure you document things. Don't just be like, yeah, I did it. Write things down. Here we go. Write things down. Um, you could find out that someone the snowplow's going by. It's snowing here in Vermont. Yay, for our first significant snow where I live. I know it's snowed in other parts already, but um, yeah, so I mean, if there is a situation that happened at work, maybe this would have already happened, got laid off or something, or I guess even fired, and you feel like it was someone else's fault. It's so easy to sit here and say this, but with the tower, the lesson of the tower is you weren't happy potentially in that job. If you really look at it, it's the control and the losing of control, not having control over it, but you actually maybe really were unhappy. It's not the job you want, it's not the career you want. You just weren't really happy. It was a routine, a habit. And what the tower says, the universe knows that, and it's going to come along. And if you don't make the changes necessary, boom, it's going to blow things up. But in the aftermath, when everything settles, when the dust settles, and you're sifting through what's left and seeing what the strong foundation is, you can see the seeds of this new beginning of what you really want. And look how beautiful this card is. But it takes strength to actually say, you know what, I was unhappy. I wasn't the greatest employee. I wasn't the greatest relationship partner. I wasn't the greatest friend. I was unhappy. I was focused on me. I was blaming other people. And this could be also someone in your sphere of influence. I was dramatic. I was worried. I don't know. I don't know. You could be on any side of this. But now I'm going to learn to be grounded. I'm going to see the opportunity. It doesn't have to be something huge. That when the tower comes out, people think, oh, my whole life is going to blow up. And I used a job example, so that does feel like your whole life. But it could be a friendship. It could be the gym you go to. It could be with your child's daycare provider. It could be something that happens with one teacher at school. You know what I'm saying? But it brings to light a truth and brings things, you can say a breakdown, but a breakthrough, that for whatever reason if you really think about it, needed to change and you just couldn't bring yourself to get there. And now it, in the aftermath, is actually creating a beautiful opportunity to now move in the right direction. Okay, Pisces, so that's your mid-November reading. I wish you the best. I see a beautiful new beginning where you're stronger and more grounded and happier, truly happier moving forward. Take care. Bye.